Hi, friends. I'm finally back. It's been a while. It's been about, 3.5 weeks since I think I posted, and I apologize for that, but I had to get through my recovery. I wanted to give you an honest update on how things have been since my ACDF surgery on the C4, C5 spinal area level. Anyway, I officially finished week 3 this past Friday, and I'm into week 4 of my recovery. And I thought it might be helpful to talk about what the journey has been like so far for me, especially someone over 60. If you're preparing for the surgery or you're caring for someone who's recovering or just curious about what it's like, I hope this gives you some real insight on not just insight, but some comfort if you're in the thick of things. So, my week 1 was the hardest part. So, my first week, because it was so rough, I just wanted to be completely honest with that. The pain was there, yes. But what hit me even harder was how my body and my mind felt from the pain medications and the anesthesia. I took the prescribed pain meds for the first few days, like most people are told to do. But by day 5, actually day 5, I had to stop taking them, and that's when things got really strange. Even without any more pain meds in my system, I felt like I was in another world. I wasn't thinking clearly. I was emotionally all over the place. I'd wake up feeling disconnected, like I wasn't fully present in my own life. It was honestly kind of scary. I know I called the doctor's office that day, and it was like I couldn't even talk or couldn't even explain how I was feeling. And I felt like the doctor's office was going to think that I was like ODing on my medication or something. And I hadn't even taken any medication in almost 48 hours at that point. So I now believe it was my body just processing and releasing everything like the anesthesia, the pain meds, the stress, the trauma from the surgery itself. You know, at over 60, I think our bodies process these things differently. The recovery isn't just physical, it's mental, it's emotional, it's hormonal too. And that was how the first week made me. That was clear on how it made me feel. I don't ever want to do that again. I had to remind myself constantly, I'm okay. You're okay, Tamra. This will pass. It's temporary. So, like simple tasks were exhausting. Eating felt like a chore, so I did not eat. My throat was sore, and I felt like I had a knot in the middle of my neck and made my swallowing a bit difficult. And I know that this was from where they opened me up in my neck. I'm sorry, this is my scar. They had opened me up in the front, and so they moved my esophagus and my windpipe over to get to the back of my neck to put the plate and the 4 screws and to do what they had to do between the vertebrae. And mine was C4 and C5 area. So because of that, I felt like I had a knot in my throat all the time. I did try and drink protein shakes and smoothies, but I can only get a little bit down. I also made sure that I was drinking lots of water to stay hydrated. I knew that was important. I knew I wasn't allowed to drive. I couldn't lift anything. I couldn't bend or turn my neck. Just sitting upright or walking to the bathroom felt like a major event. And sleep? Well, this was a bit challenging. Finding a comfortable position, dealing with the neck stiffness, and waking up with dry throat and nauseated, it was not easy. I did walk a little, about 300 to 400 feet a day, about 3 times a day. To me, it helped keep my morale up and to exercise my muscles. I had to make sure that I didn't get any blood clots in my legs. So that first week was pretty. It was a tough week. I learned how to sit up and sleep. I slept in the recliner several times, and then I learned how to sleep on my side without, trying to keep even. So the first week was pretty tough. So my second week, I felt like I was turning a corner slowly. So things started getting a little bit easier. Um, the fog in my brain began to lift, and I did not have as much pain. So, still at this point in time, I was not on any pain medications. I did take Tylenol, extra strength Tylenol, but Tylenol never really works for me, even with a headache. I always take ibuprofen, but I'm not allowed to take any kind of ibuprofen or NSAID type medications for I think it was 6 to 8 weeks, well, before surgery and then 6 to 8 weeks after surgery. So I still have a little ways to go. So I tried to take the Tylenol, but otherwise I used a heating pad and I used an ice pack. For I used the heating pad for the back and the ice pack to the front of my neck. Um, so, like I said, the fog in my brain began to lift, and I didn't have so much pain, just the soreness and the muscle tightness. I didn't feel like it was in a haze anymore. I was still pretty tired, but I was aware and I was more present in the moment. I also became hyper aware of the restrictions I had to follow. No lifting more than 10 pounds, no driving, no bending, no twisting, or looking down for long periods of time. Everything had to be eye level for me. Even things like getting dressed out of my pajamas, because I had to do that every once in a while, or reaching for a cabinet to get a cup out. I had to really think about those things. And it did require a lot of thought. I miss doing the simple things, things you don't even realize you miss until you can't do them. Like, grabbing your own groceries or doing a load of laundry. I know that sounds strange, but those little routines are a part of feeling independent. When they're taken away, it is very emotionally frustrating. That week, I started to realize recovery isn't just about healing, it's about surrendering to the process, you know, letting go of expectations, being okay with the rest, trusting your body even when it feels slow. I know I had to go to the pharmacy, so my husband drove me to the pharmacy at Walmart. And when I was standing there, I mean, we just walked into Walmart right to the pharmacy and I was talking to the staff there. I really love my pharmacy staff. And I felt okay standing there, but I had been there for about 10 minutes. And so my husband just had to go and, do a couple more things in Walmart. And I love walking around Walmart just to walk around. But as we turned around to go into the store more, I was so exhausted. I had to sit down on the benches near the pharmacy, and I told my husband, "You go ahead and get what you need, and we'll just have to go," because I couldn't handle it anymore. I thought I was going to pass out. I pretty much overdid it, and I didn't realize that just going to the pharmacy at Walmart was going to make my body feel like I just overdid it, and I had to go home. So then week three came, and I really started to feel human again. This past week, last week, I was able to go to Costco, Michael's, and Walmart with the help of my daughter and my husband because they had to drive. And of course, not only drive, but they had to pick up the heavier things. And I pushed myself. I really had to push myself. You know, um, Costco, I knew Costco would be okay. And I was at Costco by myself. My daughter dropped me off because she had to go over to the school and then, come back and pick me up. And I knew Costco would be okay because there was a bunch of seating and I had my water with me. And so I knew I'd be okay. Michael's was a bit difficult, so we weren't there long. But like I said, I just pushed myself. And It felt good to push myself. I needed to get back to a normal life somehow. So I also had last Tuesday, I had my first follow up appointment. And thankfully, the news was great. The surgeon, well, actually, the nurse practitioner, I didn't get to see the surgeon again. The practitioner said that my spine was healing well, and apparently I had a curvature in that area of the C4, C5 area. And in the x rays that I took, it was actually, instead of curved, it was actually straightened out. So that was good news. And so that's what they were hoping for. But she said everything is looking so far so good. And so I really felt relief. The swelling was still, and it still is in the incision site. I do have a lump still there, but she said those are the stitches that are on the inside and they end up clumping around. And eventually, in about 6 weeks, it'll kind of even out. Um, and so I'm okay with that. I'm okay. The incision, I never had any problems with it, no infections, and it's really healing very well. They also told me that I can start doing a little bit more walking, gentle exercises with my neck going this way and up and down. So that's been really nice. Um, I can do a little bit what they said I can do a little bit more, picking up a little bit more heavier things, but nothing like 20 pounds or anything, but to really watch what I'm doing, um, and not overdo it. But with me, I tend to overdo things. But you know what? I'm still under strict instructions. I can't go riding a bike, no sudden movements, try not to fall, no definitely heavy lifting, and absolutely no impact activities. They want to make sure that my neck doesn't just go like this, like a whiplash, where it goes backwards and then forwards. So that would not be good. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm grateful just to be able to get up and shower, fill my own water bottle with ice and water, grab something to eat if I feel hungry, and I feel like myself again. I'm slowly feeling like myself again. So I know that by the time this video comes out, I'll be in my fourth week. Oh, actually, I am in my fourth week because this is at 3.5 weeks right now. Um, so it's, I'm doing good. One of the biggest mental shifts this week, well, basically last week, my third week, has been accepting that healing doesn't follow a calendar. It happens in tiny moments, like realizing you're sitting more comfortably, or you got through a whole day without needing a nap, or your neck doesn't feel as tight when you wake up. That feels good. Reflections, if you're the reflections over 60, if you're 60 and over and going through this, and I just want to say, your recovery may take a bit longer. And you know what? That's okay. Our bodies have been through a lot. We've lived full lives. We've dealt with stress and aging joints and medications and different surgeries and hormonal changes. It all adds up. So please don't compare your healing timeline to anybody else's, especially the younger folks. You're not behind. You're just healing at your own pace. I know I did a lot of research before this surgery. I mean, a lot. And I listened to a lot of people, men and women, who were, you can tell in the videos, they're much younger than I was or than I am. And how they um, healed. And they did. They were healing a lot faster than I feel like I'm healing. But you know what? That's okay. They're younger. They haven't been through so much body changes and everything that we've been through in our 60s and above. So you know what? Like I said, You're just healing at your own pace. So don't compare yourself. And I learned so much from all those people that did videos on ACDF surgery, whether they're having the fusion surgery or the replacement surgery. I'm so thankful that I watched their videos because it really did help me um, get prepared as much as I can get prepared for this surgery. So, also, I want to say if you're in that weird, foggy mental state after surgery, you're not alone. It's more common than people realize. So, talk to your doctor. Make sure you hydrate. Drink that water, drink the Gatorade. You don't want to get dehydrated. You really don't. Rest. Let your body rest. Even if you're sleeping all day or you get up for like an hour and you're like, just going to go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. That's how your body heals. Get as much rest as you can. I know that I was going through days where I was sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. And then all of a sudden, I was having days where I was up all night, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to bed. I'm like, what is wrong with me? So then I go to bed for about 6 hours and then I'm up a whole another 18, 20 hours. And then all of a sudden, my body's like, for the next 2 or 3 days, it rests. So your body will tell you when to rest and when to be awake. So it's what you do with those awake hours. Be productive, read a book, do something for you. So when I say talk to your doctor, hydrate, rest, and trust that the clarity will return, and it will return. And I'm so grateful that mine returned. And you know what? Don't underestimate the emotional side of recovery. Some days I felt very discouraged or even a bit depressed, like, am I ever going to be feel normal again? And then one day I woke up and I was a little bit better. That felt good. So, in closing, so that's where I'm at now. 3 weeks post op. Well, right as I'm talking today, it's actually almost 3.5 weeks. And while I'm still moving slowly, I'm deeply grateful to be moving at all. Every step forward counts. What makes me grateful also is that I know that having this surgery stopped the progression of me being paralyzed in the future. And that relieves so much anxiety. If you're going to go through ACDF surgery, or and you know you're going to be going through the recovery process or about to do, just remember you're stronger than you think. And you know what, this doesn't have to be just for ACDF surgery. It could be any surgery, because I believe when you're 60 and above, any surgery you're going to go through, I think, very similar things. But just remember again, you're stronger than you think. Be patient, be gentle with yourself, and celebrate the small wins. So let me know in the comments below if you want me to keep updating you as the weeks go on. I was thinking about doing probably not a full week because I'm getting close to 4 weeks now, but maybe at 6 weeks or even at 12 weeks recovery. I'll be more than happy to come on and let you know, or do a video and let you know how I'm doing. I'll be sharing more as I regain more strength and movement, and hopefully some hope for those who actually need it. So thank you. Take care. Thank you for being a part of this journey with me. Thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like and comment. I'm truly grateful for you all who have been hanging in there with me. Um, I might be having some changes in my channel, don't know yet, but right now I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I've really missed being on YouTube for the past few weeks. Um, and I just want to say, God bless, and I'll see you next time. Bye.